Hey guys, today we're going to talk about all things matcha. What matcha is, why it's become so popular and everyone is talking about it, and if you're new to matcha, how you can get started. First, let's start by talking about what is matcha. Matcha is green tea. However, it's very different from regular green tea because instead of steeping it and taking the tea bag out, you're consuming the entire tea leaf ground up into a fine powder. Matcha is also really special in the way that it's grown and harvested. So it's different from regular green tea because the last 3 weeks before they harvest the tea leaves, it's shade grown. And it's this process that keeps all the nutritional content in those tea leaves. So it's got a really high content of chlorophyll, it's got a more vibrant green color, and it actually gives the tea leaves a more subtly sweet taste. Once they're ready, they're then hand-picked. They're laid out to dry, they're destemmed and deveined, and finally, at an end of a very long process, they're slowly stone ground into a fine matcha powder. Why has matcha become so popular and why is everybody talking about it? First, and the main reason, is because matcha is super high in antioxidants. More antioxidants found in a cup of matcha than in a cup of regular green tea. Second is the caffeine. So matcha has caffeine, however, it's significantly less caffeine than is in a cup of coffee. And on top of that, matcha caffeine is believed to be slowly absorbing into the body and can give you anywhere up to 4 to 6 hours of lasting energy. Third is the interesting combination of the caffeine and the amino acid L-theanine. So the amino acid L-theanine is believed to give the body a calming effect, and that paired with that lasting energy from the caffeine is giving people what they're calling a calming focus. When getting started with matcha, I want you to start by understanding that matcha powder will not dissolve by simply stirring it into water. Matcha powder tends to clump and can be difficult to get out unless you follow a few of these simple steps that I'm going to give you here today. I'd also like to add that you should never use boiling water when you're making matcha. Boiling water will burn the powder and it will damage the flavor. So when making matcha, you want to use water that is just under boil, around 160 degrees. I'm going to show you a few ways that you can make matcha at home with various things that you might have lying around your kitchen. Let's start by talking about a traditional matcha. Traditionally, matcha is whisked into a bowl to become a nice, thick, and frothy tea. So the one tool that you're going to need if you want to make a traditional matcha is going to be this bamboo whisk. Many types of matcha would need to be sifted into the bowl first. This particular matcha that I'm using doesn't need to be sifted as the clumps will come out very easily. You want to add just a little bit of water, just enough to get it mixing, get it into a nice thick and smooth paste, mix it in a W or an M shape, and once it's all smooth and all the clumps are out, add a little bit more water, however much you like to taste. You'll whisk it again, just get it all mixed in, nice frothy layer on top. Now to get the full experience of your traditional matcha, you'll drink it right out of the bowl so that you can taste and you can smell the matcha all at the same time. Now if you don't have a bamboo whisk, you could also use one of these grinders or even just a spoon, and I will show you those in the videos next. Now just like the bamboo whisk, you're going to add just a tiny amount of water, just enough to get everything mixing. With this, you're going to mix around the bowl with some pressure to help get the powder nice and smooth. Make sure that you get all of the clumps out, and then you're just going to add a little bit more water to taste, and that is it. Okay, the same as with the grinder, you want to just add a tiny bit of water and you want to use your spoon to really mix and press the clumps out until you get a nice smooth base, and then you're going to add a little bit more water to taste, and that's it. The third way that you can make matcha at home is in something like this, so a water bottle or a protein shaker, something with a lid that you can use to shake the matcha. Again, the goal here is just to get the clumps out, but with the water bottles and the protein shakers, you're going to need a little bit more water to shake it. This won't work with all matchas. Some matcha powders will need to be sifted first, otherwise it will still be clumpy. I personally love this method because the lid makes it super convenient to take with me anywhere, and I usually fill the water bottle to the top with water and drink unsweetened. But you could also add a tiny splash of lemon or honey for some additional flavor. Alright guys, next you can make a super simple, delicious matcha latte at home. So all you're going to do is you're going to use those earlier methods I was just showing you, get your base for your matcha. So whichever one works for you at home. Once you have a nice, smooth matcha base, you're then going to add your sweetener of choice and some of our original chai spice, and then top it with your favorite almond milk. Another way that you can make a super simple, delicious, frothy matcha latte at home is going to be in a blender or a frother. Now these are going to be your easiest options because all you do is add all of your ingredients in here. You don't have to get into the clumps out. You add everything into your blender or your frother and you turn them on and you are done. So let's get started. Now with the milk frother, all you're going to do is just add all of your ingredients into the pitcher and turn it on. You don't have to worry about getting any of those clumps out or mixing the matcha first. We also love this milk frother because you can turn it on for a hot matcha latte or even just mix it cold, which is really awesome. And if you don't have a milk frother, we'd highly recommend this one. We've been through a few, so just check out the link in the comments. And at the end, you have a nice frothy matcha latte. Now with the blender, it's going to be the same as the milk frother. You're just going to add all of your ingredients, everything including the water and the almond milk, and you're going to turn it on. Now what's special about the blender is that you're going to have a slightly different texture than you would get with just mixing or shaking the matcha. It's going to have an airiness and a fluffiness to it that you wouldn't get any other way. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you love this video, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. And if you're interested in learning more about how to identify and buy really good quality matcha, check out the link below. See you later.